Hey, Peter Navarro here. Had a great time with Mike Huckabee down in Nashville. This is part 2 of the interview. Take a listen. Let me know what you think.
Go to Huckabee.tv and get your very own Made in the USA Huckabee mugs, t-shirts, and more.
And welcome back. We're visiting with Peter Navarro, who was the trade czar under President Trump, and I hope he's going to be again. That would be my greatest hope, that he would go back to that office. Next week, Joe Biden is going to be meeting with the Chinese president, Xi Jinping, and I can't imagine what's going to be the conversation when they meet in San Francisco.
Yeah. Well, I've been there, done that on several occasions. She came to Mar-a-Lago 2017. We were in Buenos Aires at the G20. These are bad people. They will look you in the eye, agree to things, and then as soon as they leave the room, they start violating those agreements. They simply can't be trusted. One of the great failures of the administration was what was supposed to be a beautiful thing. We negotiated a beautiful deal with China. And at the last minute, they reneged. And here's the lesson, folks. All they want to do is talk. Well, they take our money and our jobs and put a gun to our head. That's all they want to do. And there's nothing to say to them. And the problem with Joe Biden, he bragged about talking more to Xi Jinping than any world leader ever. He'd just go there. It's like, but if you look at what's on the Hunter Biden laptop, you understand what the game was. He was selling this country out, influence peddling. So there's nothing to say. There's nothing to say.
Here at home, manufacturing has got to return. We've just seen the United Auto Workers deal with GM, Ford, and the former Chrysler Motor Company. What's wrong with that deal? What is going to happen as a result of some of these strikes?
The central problem is that Joe Biden has inflicted, and that's the proper word, an electric vehicle mandate upon this country at your expense. Okay, make no mistake about it. Your tax dollars are going to subsidize electric vehicles. Now, what the problem with that? The difference between an American car with an internal combustion engine made in Detroit is when you replace that with an electric vehicle, what's the engine? It's a battery. Where are the batteries made? Communist China. If you make the batteries there, you're going to make the cars there. So what we've essentially done with that agreement, because it just drives up costs incredibly. And I'm a blue-collar worker kind of guy. But that deal, coupled with the electric vehicle mandate, is essentially going to surrender our auto industry to the Communist Chinese. And the worst guy over there, besides Xi Jinping, is Elon Musk. He moved everything over to Shanghai. He said he was going to produce here. And he moved everything over to that Shanghai plant. And he's going to dump those products in here. Ford, GM, and his Stellantis are all going to be out of business if that mandate stays.
Can we recover? Is it possible for us to get back to that place where we once were?
We were well on our way to doing it with Donald Trump. I mean, he had a formula back in 2016 on the campaign trail. And once he got in there, he implemented it. It was a low tax burden on the middle class. It was a low regulatory burden on businesses, and it was leveling the playing field on trade. I mean, look, you can't compete with communist China when they use slave labor sweatshops and the government subsidizes huge subsidies on everything they ship into us. And their plot, look, companies here, Mike, their job is to make money, right?
Sure.
China Inc.'s job is to destroy America and rule the world. Okay, who do you think is going to win that unless you have a strong president who sees the game and stands up to it? And Donald Trump was was just the rarest of things in American politics, because he was a guy who wasn't beholden to the special interests. He didn't have to put his hand out with a handful of gimme and much oblige, right? He just went in there and did what was good for America. And it was good for America. Does anybody want to trade today for what was going on with Donald Trump? I mean, everything we did, Biden undid, literally on the first day. And look at what we've got. The economy's in shambles with gas, food, whatever. You've got instability across the world now. You've got a Defense Department which focuses more on woke stuff than it does on combat readiness. And at the head of the snake there, you got Joe Biden, Merrick Garland as the Department of Justice, and the way they work is all they want to do is put people like Donald Trump and me in prison to get us out of the way so that they can keep doing what they're doing.
We got to make sure
destroying this country.
We got to make sure that doesn't happen, Peter, because I need to see you and President Trump back in the White House. I kind of liked it when fuel prices were half what they are now, and we could afford groceries. Hey, if you want to stand with Dr. Peter Navarro as he fights the ridiculous legal battle that's been brought by Nancy Pelosi's January 6th committee and by Merrick Garland's goose-stepping goons, I know he will appreciate your help. Now, if you want to find out how to help him and how to get more information on his books and published materials, we have links right there at Huckabee.tv so you can get connected. And I hope you will.
Okay, thanks for watching this. Be sure to check out my Substack at peternavarro.substack.com. That's peternavarro.substack.com.